There was once a fox and an elephant living deep in a forest. They were not just ordinary companions, they shared an extraordinary bond of friendship. They did everything together, went everywhere together, and were so close that one could not imagine life without the other. Across the forest flowed a wide river, and beyond that river lay a vast sugarcane field. One day, as the sun rose high and the heat of the day grew stronger, the elephant turned to the fox and said, "Today I want to eat sugarcane." The fox, licking its lips and wagging its tail, replied, "Yes, I also want to eat. It's been a long day, and I haven't eaten anything." The fox then looked at the river thoughtfully and said, "But how will we get across?" "I can't swim." The elephant smiled and said gently, "Don't worry, I will carry you on my back." The elephant lowered himself, and the fox climbed up. Slowly and steadily, the elephant waded into the river. The current was strong, but the elephant was strong too, and he carefully made his way across, keeping the fox safe and dry on his back. They reached the other side safely and walked toward the sugarcane field. The two friends began eating the juicy, sweet sugarcane. The fox, being small, got full quickly. He lay on his back, eyes closed in bliss, and suddenly burst into loud howls of joy. His voice echoed through the field. The elephant, still eating, looked at the fox with alarm and said, "Don't shout so loudly. If someone hears us, they'll come and beat us." But the fox didn't listen. He continued howling in excitement. Sure enough, the owner of the sugarcane field heard the noise and came running, holding a thick stick. The fox saw him coming and, being light and fast, ran away quickly and disappeared into the forest. The poor elephant, however, was large and slow. He couldn't run away in time and was struck several times by the angry farmer. Groaning in pain, he finally managed to escape and stumbled his way back toward the river. Later, on the riverbank, the elephant met the fox again. The elephant, hurt and disappointed, asked the fox, "Why did you do that? Why didn't you listen when I told you to stay quiet?" The fox, a little ashamed but still playful, replied, "I have a habit of howling when my stomach is full." The elephant didn't say anything in response. He simply turned toward the river again. It was time to go back to their side of the forest. The elephant once again allowed the fox to climb on his back, and they started crossing the river. But this time, when they reached the middle of the river, the elephant suddenly plunged himself into the water. The splash was huge. The fox, clinging tightly, was terrified and screamed, "What are you doing? If you keep doing this, I'll drown and die." The elephant calmly replied, "I have a habit of taking a bath in the river after eating sugarcane." The fox's heart sank. He realized then that the elephant was showing him what it felt like to be careless with a friend. The fox became silent and thoughtful. He had risked his friend's life just to satisfy his own joy, and now he saw the consequences of his actions. Full of guilt, the fox apologized sincerely to the elephant. "I'm sorry," he said. "I shouldn't have behaved that way. I understand now what I did was wrong." The elephant accepted the apology and carefully carried the fox back across the river to safety. From that day on, the fox changed. He never again acted thoughtlessly, and he never brought harm to any creature. The bond between the fox and the elephant became even stronger, and they lived as good friends, just like before, but with more wisdom and respect for one another. The lesson of their story is simple but deep. Even if we cannot always do good, we should never wish harm on others. When we hurt someone for our own happiness, that harm often returns to us in a much greater form.